Maimonides, also known as Moses ben Maimon, was more than just a philosopher. In the 12th century he emerged as a towering figure bridging various worlds with his profound insights. As a physician, legal scholar and philosopher, his works traversed the boundaries of Jewish and Islamic thought, leaving an indelible mark on both. Born in Cordoba in what is now Spain, Maimonides lived during an era marked by considerable turmoil and intellectual fervor, which shaped his approaches to law, ethics and philosophy. The quote in focus, "The risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision," encapsulates a universal truth that resonates deeply with contemporary issues. In today's fast-paced, decision-heavy environment, where choices abound and hesitation can lead to opportunities lost, Maimonides' words offer a beacon of wisdom. His call to embrace risk over paralysis not only highlights a bold approach to decision-making, but also underscores the inherent value found in the act of choosing itself, regardless of the outcome. The virtue of decisiveness stands as a cornerstone in many philosophical traditions, notably among Stoics and followers of Aristotle, who upheld courage and prudence as essential virtues. Stoicism, in particular, champions the idea that our character is the result of our choices and that virtue lies in action. Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics praises the prudent man for making decisions that reflect moral virtues. Maimonides, in his alignment with these ideas, sees decisiveness as not merely a personal trait, but as a moral imperative. Modern psychological research supports the notion that decisiveness breeds success and well-being. Studies suggest that individuals who make decisions promptly tend to be more satisfied with their choices, even if the outcomes are not always perfect. This might be because decision-making itself can be a reaffirmation of one's agency and self-efficacy. For instance, in the realm of startups, quick decision-making is often pivotal. Consider the story of a young tech entrepreneur faced with the choice to pivot her company's business model in response to market feedback. By deciding swiftly to shift focus, she captured a niche market, propelling her startup to new heights. Her story exemplifies Maimonides' principle. The act of deciding is itself a step forward, preventing the stagnation that can cripple businesses and personal growth. In crafting these sections, I aim to blend philosophical insights with practical applications, illustrating how ancient wisdom is not only relevant but essential in understanding and navigating the complexities of modern life. As we progress through the article, each lesson drawn from Maimonides' quote will further intertwine with personal narratives and contemporary analyses, providing a rich tapestry of thought and action designed to engage and inspire our readers. The risk of making a wrong decision often holds invaluable lessons, a notion deeply rooted in history. Throughout the annals of scientific discovery, trial and error has been the catalyst for breakthroughs. Consider Thomas Edison, whose countless experiments led to the invention of the light bulb. His approach was simple. Each failure was not a setback, but a step toward success. This philosophy aligns with Maimonides' view, where the risk of error is outweighed by the growth it fosters. In educational settings, the concept of failing forward has gained traction. It's the idea that making mistakes isn't just acceptable, it's encouraged as part of the learning process. Companies like Google and Apple have famously embraced this mindset, fostering environments where innovation is driven by experimentation. This corporate culture shift resonates with Maimonides' wisdom. To move forward, one must not fear the possibility of error, but embrace it as a stepping stone to innovation and growth. The fear of failure can be crippling, as philosophers like Soren Kierkegaard and Friedrich Nietzsche have explored. Kierkegaard's concept of angst describes the existential dread that arises from freedom of choice, while Nietzsche's idea of eternal recurrence challenges individuals to embrace their decisions, knowing they could be repeated infinitely. Maimonides' quote speaks directly to this fear, suggesting that indecision is the true terror, not the risk of making the wrong choice. To combat this fear, professionals in various fields adopt strategies to boost confidence. Mindfulness, resilience training, and visualization techniques are common tools used by athletes, CEOs, and performers to overcome the anxiety of failure. Take the example of a professional tennis player who visualizes each point before it happens, preparing for both success and setbacks. By confronting the fear head-on, they embody Maimonides' lesson that action is preferable to inaction, even if it involves risk. Action-oriented philosophies like pragmatism and existentialism prioritize the role of individual choice in shaping reality. Pragmatists believe that truth is found through action and practical outcomes, while existentialists contend that existence is defined by our choices. This aligns with Maimonides' advocacy for decisiveness. Our actions, even flawed, create our reality and propel us forward. Consider a humanitarian organization faced with a crisis requiring immediate action. The decision to mobilize resources quickly, despite incomplete information, can mean the difference between life and death. Such cases highlight the dire consequences of indecision, reinforcing Maimonides' point that action, even with inherent risks, is preferable to paralysis. Intuition has been valued by philosophers such as Henri Bergson and Baruch Spinoza, who viewed it as a higher form of understanding beyond rationality. Bergson's concept of élan vital emphasizes the instinctive drive of life, while Spinoza's intuitive knowledge suggests a deeper, more immediate grasp of truth. Maimonides' quote hints at the need for intuitive decision-making in moments of uncertainty. In business, intuition often plays a critical role in strategic decisions. A notable example is Steve Jobs' reliance on intuition to guide Apple's product development. His bold decisions, often made without exhaustive data, revolutionized the tech industry. This reinforces the idea that trusting one's instincts can lead to extraordinary outcomes, even if there's a risk of being wrong. The Stoics teach that while we can't control external events, we can control our reactions. This philosophy helps us embrace uncertainty without succumbing to indecision. Maimonides' quote underscores the same principle. By accepting the unknown, we find the courage to act. A community leader during a natural disaster had to make rapid decisions without all the facts. Despite the chaos, his willingness to take action helped save lives and restore order. This story illustrates how embracing uncertainty and decisiveness can yield positive results, echoing Maimonides' belief in the superiority of risk over inaction. Speed in decision-making has historically been crucial in turning the tide of events. Military leaders throughout history, from Alexander the Great to Napoleon, understood the importance of acting swiftly. The Battle of Waterloo is a prime example where quick decisions played a significant role in the outcome, demonstrating the merits of decisive action. In today's fast-paced world, speed is often a competitive advantage. Neuroscience studies reveal how the brain processes information under pressure, suggesting that quick decisions can be effective when based on experience and intuition. This reinforces Maimonides' message that swift action can often lead to favorable results, even when the risks are high. Summing up, Maimonides' teachings remind us that embracing the risk of wrong decisions is the key to progress. Indecision leads to stagnation and fear, while action opens doors to growth and learning. His philosophy is a call to courage in the face of uncertainty, encouraging us to take chances and trust our instincts. Maimonides' legacy extends beyond a single quote. Here are a few of his other notable sayings. Teach thy tongue to say, I do not know, and thou shalt progress. The risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision. Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. These quotes encapsulate his wisdom, promoting humility, action, and learning. In our modern world, where uncertainty is the norm and decisions carry significant weight, Maimonides' wisdom serves as a guide. He challenges us to embrace the risk of making the wrong choice, knowing that indecision is far more terrifying. As we navigate our personal and professional lives, let's remember that action, no matter how small, is a step forward. Like Ptahhotep, whose teachings encourage humility and dialogue, Maimonides invites us to be bold, to choose, and to learn from our choices. In this journey, we find the courage to live fully without the paralyzing grip of indecision. The risk of a wrong decision is preferable to the terror of indecision. Maimonides.